All right, the Lumix S1RII. Now this camera has copped a lot of criticism since its release, but I've been using this for a couple of days now and this camera's fucking sick. Right, the Lumix S1RII, I really just wanted to try out a few of the features I was looking forward to the most. I was looking forward to the 8K, the 4K 100 frames, or 4K 120 frames if you're using NTSC. Most Americans. Here in New Zealand, we shoot PAL. Mostly PAL shooters. It's mostly sort of 25 frame timelines and codecs. So for the remainder of this video, I'm going to be talking about 4K 100 frames. Just know that I'm also talking about 4K 120 frames, depending on which codec you shoot. We're just going to stick with that. Just know that it also shoots 120. Sweet. Okay, glad we cleared that up. So I was really looking forward to the 8K files, the 100 frames at 4K. I was looking forward to the log, seeing what I could push out of the log profiles, the stabilization, of course, the battery life, all of the things that Lumix does really well: video features, stabilization, video functionality, photography functionality. These are all things that I wanted to try out. So what do? You go down to the beach, you grab a buddy, you take your FPV drones out with you, you find a nice day, and you start shooting, and you just try it. You just try it in a real world situation.
I'm gonna hold it as steady as possible. Don't know how still that will be, but let's see.
Now I know that there's been some criticism around this with rolling shutter, with battery life, with overheating. I haven't experienced any of those problems yet. I have only been shooting this for a couple of days, but in a real world situation, I haven't found any of those critiques come into my day of shooting or come into my tests that I've essentially run. So the first crazy feature, 8K video. 8K is absolutely ginormous. Will you ever need it? I don't know. Will you use it? Maybe, probably. I think there is definitely some use here for 8K video. I think it gives you a lot more flexibility and functionality within post-production. The fact that you can retain so much detail with punching into something really close. Maybe you can't get as close to something as you would like to, but you know, if you're scaling this down to 4K, or if you are putting it onto a 1080 by 1920 vertical, like an 8K file is massive for that. So yeah, it really retains a lot of that detail. It's not digital zoom. I think the verdict's still out on digital zoom. Like, I know that this has a few digital zoom functionalities. A lot of the Lumix cameras do come out with digital zoom. Phones have digital zoom, but I don't know. Personally, I still just don't trust it. Personally, for me, I can kind of sometimes see digital zoom versus real zoom, maybe.
Okay, so digital zoom. I've gone back down to the beach and picked up a few extra shots for this video, and I tried the digital zoom and it's actually pretty sick. So I eat my words on that. I don't know if I'll use it. I might use it. It looks like it could be useful. I don't know. I guess we'll see what the shots look like once we actually put them onto the computer and see what the quality is like. But from the viewfinder, it didn't look too bad. So I guess we'll find out. The verdict's still out in digital zoom. Let's have a look.
I think if you can shoot at the native resolution or focal length, I'm always trying to do that. I guess if you wanted a little bit of digital zoom to get you a little bit closer to something, like maybe, but how with 8K, full resolution, full focal length, like that's probably as good as you're gonna get. That's just a way better result than trying to bug around with digital zoom. So I don't know, that's just my humble opinion. I think a lot of people will find digital zoom really handy, but for me, it's not really an important feature. So one thing to consider with an 8K video is it's an 8K video. It's ginormous. It's a really big file size. It reads at 300 megabytes per second. So yeah, a good 10 seconds of footage, you're looking at well over a gig per file. But what I wanted to test the most with this was how well does it actually scrub and how well does it actually work when it comes to post-production. So I've got a MacBook M3, 48 gig of RAM, bought it last year, and surprisingly the 8K footage scrubs really well. And I think once I started to stack a few shots together and my preview was set to full resolution, started to get a little bit of jitter and a little bit of lag, but dropping that that preview down to half resolution, like I was able to scrub through this 8K footage easy. So I think that's a testament to Lumix's compression algorithms, making these 8K files actually really usable in post-production. Now the feature I've been looking forward to the most, 4K 100 frames per second in log This, yeah, as somebody who shoots a lot of sport and fast moving things and wants to emphasize using slow motion, and I don't want to hear it. Like, I hear a lot of people talking about slow motion's going out of fashion, you should stop shooting in slow motion, but I completely disagree with that, because I think every type of shot has its place. And if you're shooting something that has a lot of fast movement that the eye can't really see, and you can slow that down to 4 times slow motion, like, it's just another way to emphasize a shot or emphasize your storytelling. I think 4K slow-mo is awesome, man. Like, I don't care about trends that people are doing or going in and out with. Like, slow-mo is fucking dope. Like, you can do speed ramping, you can have it still a fast sequence, but just slow down for just a couple of seconds, just a key moment. Like, nah, I've been so pumped with this 4K 100 frames. That's still and has become my favorite feature of this camera. I compare that to the S5 Mark IIX, which has primarily been my workhorse for the last couple of years. That shoots at full HD. Now, you can get a really nice image out of that if you're shooting at the native ISOs. As soon as you shoot outside of that and you scale it up to, say, a 4K timeline, that's when I've noticed just a little bit of quality degradation. But if it is shot in the native ISO, I notice you do get quite a lot more resolution, which, yeah, it's quite nice to work with in the edit. But none of that really matters anymore, because you've got this, which shoots at 4K 100 in log, and it just grades beautifully. Its compression algorithm, again, just like the 8K footage, is really good. It scrubs so nicely. It feels like no quality is lost. The log on this is absolutely awesome. Like, so much dynamic range. There's so much detail still retained. No weird color shifts, no weird color breakups. Like, you can punch so much color and edit into that log footage to really achieve the look that you want. I noticed that with highlights, it being slightly overexposed, I'm able to pull so much more out of those highlights. Same with the lowlights, like, I'm able to pull so much detail out of that. Like, there's so much information within this log profile that you can really have confidence that whatever you're kind of shooting, depending on the light conditions, like, you're going to get a great image out of it afterwards. Now, of course, I've only shot this at the beach. I was using a Mckinnon variable ND. I reckon the verdict could be out on those Mckinnon NDs. I've started to notice, yeah, it's just not giving me the color I'm totally looking for. I've had mine for a good, like, 4 years now, and it still lives in my 24 to 70. But I notice, especially with it, maybe somebody can shine a bit of light on this. When you're shooting, like, horizontal, it's fine, but as soon as you, like, turn your camera this way to shoot vertical, like, the color of water almost goes like a muddy brown. So it can go from a really nice blue to like a muddy brown. And I guess maybe, like, I've tried to sort of adjust it to, like, compensate for it, but it just doesn't change. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is a filter thing. I think it is. It's the only thing that I can think of that is on the front of the camera that is changing color. Yeah, I don't know. If you've got any recommendations for other ND filters, like, I'm here for it. I thought the Peter McKinnon one was really good. I like how it doesn't vignette too much or at all, even down to 5 stops. But yeah, it's definitely been a bit weird for me shooting with it between horizontal and vertical. I'm noticing those color shifts. Now, the next thing is one thing that Lumix has always been superior at since the release of the GH5 is the stabilization. So yeah, the stabilization in this thing is just as good as any other Lumix camera. It is, yeah, it's awesome. You can do kind of like these orbiting shots and keep pretty still, you know, kind of had a few sort of walk and talk shots that were really still as well. And yeah, I think if you really try, get your ninja walk going, the stabilization in this is just so forgiving, like so forgiving. So yeah, I wasn't even really trying to keep shots that stable along the beach, but yeah, it was really impressive to see how good the stabilization still is and is within this camera. Now the rolling shutter, the Gerald Undone rolling shutter. Can I really talk to it? No, I didn't really notice any weird sort of rolling shutter warp or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know, maybe some of that stuff will come to light while shooting a bit more, but I don't think it's gonna, like in a real world situation, I don't think that rolling shutter is gonna be a big problem. Like the only other thing I think that it could affect is if you've got like slower lights. Maybe you're filming in a sports stadium and they're using LED lights. You might get a little bit of flicker that's like shooting in some of those variable frame rates, but like I've kind of had that in my experience a little bit, but I use a bit of synchro scan. You can kind of adjust for the light speed. Yeah, I don't know. I think in a real world situation, the whole critique around the rolling shutter isn't gonna really detriment your use of this camera. I don't think that rolling shutter, and I understand that Gerald Undone was just working off the data that he collected, and his videos are great for like pure data findings, and no discredit to him, but I think in a real world situation, like some of those features or some of those detriments that he highlights don't necessarily apply to the real world functionality of what this camera and what cameras he's talking about can generally offer. But I think it's safe to say, from my experience so far, that rolling shutter, that's fucking sweet. Like, it's all good. There's nothing, I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. So my final thoughts, well, this for me is the perfect camera. Like, I hate to say that. I mean, I've been using Lumix since the GH4, GH5. I've had the GH6. I've got the GH7. I've got the S5, the S5 Mark II, the S5 Mark II X, and hey, they're all fantastic cameras. And you know, I've been able to build a solid career and content off the back of some of these cameras. And I think for the most part, this here is just the step up. This is just the step up. This is just such a massive step up from like the S5 Mark II X. Don't get me wrong, absolutely fucking great camera. Like, I love my S5 Mark II X. I still use it. I'm literally filming off the S5 Mark II X like right now. But this here with just those added functionalities, the fact that you can write to a CF Express card, the 100 frames in log, the 8K, sure we'll find a functionality for that somewhere. I primarily shoot social media content for Instagram. I think I'm going to be able to find a use for that 8K, especially if I'm wanting to, you know, if I've only got one opportunity to shoot one thing, I would probably shoot a landscape, and I'd just have so much flexibility to crop that in and keep and retain all of that quality and resolution that comes with an image. So yeah, this camera is fucking sick. It's going to live permanently in my camera bag. This will be my new go-to camera from now on. Yeah, I can't speak more highly of it. Like, it's so freaking good. It's just so nice to use. It's really nice to hold. It's got so much functionality to it. It's fast, it's quick. The footage is really easy to use. It shoots great photos. It's got all of the photo functionalities. The haptic is just awesome between switching from S&Q to video to photo. It's all just here. It's all just right here. So I'll admit it, I'm a bit of a Lumix fanboy, but for good reason. This thing is an absolute content weapon, and for me, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So, hey, look, if you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. I just wanted to put a quick video up on my first thoughts on the brand new S1R2. Yeah, probably have a few more edits coming out. I'm about to climb the mountain on Monday, so I'm going to have a wee wee video about that. And yeah, more content on the S1R2. I'm really looking forward to it. Peace, my homies. See you in the next one.